Bros. We be your bros.
Tell 'em.
Hottest interviews, highest ranking show.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Beer Bros, guys. I know it's been a while, but I just want to say, unfortunately, Zach couldn't make it. So this is going to be a one-on-one interview with Mr. Loyalty. What's going on?
Brother, I'm just excited. Super happy to be here again, man. Beer Bros is definitely taking over. I'm super glad to be, once again in the podcast, and I'm just super excited to talk about what's coming up and what we've both been up to.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely been a long journey since when we both started. So, what's been going on? How's the tour going?
Oh man, going from place to place, meeting different people, connecting with the fans. I'm definitely blessed. I'm definitely grateful and thankful for all the things that are happening in my life, and just to see how people are reacting to the song. We actually dropped a new EP with Power Scheme Music, Randy. And we're just excited to see that people are really connecting, to each of the tracks. So super excited, brother. I can't ask for more.
It's, you got to start somewhere and work your way up. That's exactly. And to be honest with you, we couldn't do it without Randy at Power King, so let's give him a huge shout out.
Sure, for sure. Shout out to the man.
Of course, he's the one that got us both started. So, what's this new song about that you just dropped?
Well, with the EP is called The Takeover. Is basically a proclamation of taking over the music industry, coming out with our new swing, with a new swag, and also something innovative. We got music from all the way from Spanish all the way down to African roots. That's something that you've known about, and it's just trying to reach a different audience out there. Every day we got to challenge ourselves to become better at what we do. Whether we're doing a podcast or whether I'm writing a song, we have to be always innovative. And I think that being so creative with Randy helps me a lot as an artist, because he challenges me to do something that I never done before. For example, I created a few jingles already for different podcasts, different people that that do this type of things, and it was a challenge, because how can you create something so small that actually is catchy and that people are gonna react to? So it puts me in that spot of, okay, I have to bring the best out of me. So saying that is that we just got to keep our toes wet. We just got to keep touching and create as much as we can. And yeah, it's been going great. It's been going great. It keeps my brain cells activated. It keeps me going with a lot of energy, and super excited, brother. Super excited.
So, agreed. Even with the podcast, it's a lot of fun, but a lot of motivation came from Randy when everyone told me that, it was not going to happen, just give up. And Randy's the one that literally snapped me out of it. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You're young. Wake up, make it happen. You can't always take criticism.
Right. And yeah, it's good to take criticism, but only when it's constructive. You have your own ideas as to what the idea of Beer Bros is and how you want to expand the podcast. And I'll say the same thing. You just got to keep going and innovate yourself, create something new every day. Talk about different subjects. I mean, I'm not so knowledgeable of how to even create a podcast, but as an artist is what I tell myself. I have to write a different verse, or create, not to keep the repetitive on the words, and bring a different idea, bring a different story to people. So we always got to find ways, and there are always multiple ways of reconnecting with our audience and keeping them interested on what we're doing. So we just got to keep fighting. Randy is definitely a big backbone. He's definitely there. He's definitely encouraging me all the time to keep going. And he's always uplifting me with his words. So as you said, a lot of these things wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for his guidance, for his words. And I just can't, I can't complain. I think I found somebody super great, somebody who really cares, genuinely cares for your well-being, for your image as well. And it's all about lifting one another.
Of course, he told me, he said, I won't forget the one thing. When everyone told me I was down, like give up on it, give up, it started from literally in a small studio apartment with
Right.
one person filming from, I don't know, an iPhone 4 camera up to where it is. You gotta, from what I experienced, you gotta experiment different ways in order to build it. It's a lot of a risk factor you gotta take. You
Yeah.
can't be afraid to take the risk.
That's right. That's right. You can't be afraid. And, and the benefit of everything is that when you jump into the unknown, that's when you really discover, the greatness of darkness, in a way. And you just gotta tap it, touch it, feel it, and see what it take you. That's the best blessing. That's the best, when everything turns out to be the best for you. When you go into an adventure to a place you've never been, or you write a song that you never wrote about, and you really pouring your feelings into it, or you really have a very creative idea that you think is not going to work, launch it out, put it out, just do it. The only thing you can hear is no, but other than that, you just keep trying, creating a new formula. It's like you got to become a math scientist in this type of things. You just got to bring something new, bring something creative, and something entertaining. And that's exactly what we're doing from both sides, me as an artist
Exactly.
and you as a podcaster. So we just got to keep pushing that envelope till we see the dream come true.
And it's not something that's going to take overnight. Everyone keeps on saying, thinking that it's an overnight thing. It takes years and years to experience. I've been doing this for probably about 2 years, and I finally just got the right equipment. I'm sure in the music industry, you've been practicing for a while,
Yeah.
right?
I've been on this for a very long time now, and I'm not an artist that of course I hope on one day to be recognized, by bigger major labels and whatnot, and to be doing tours from country to country, not just from state to state. But at the same time, I'm grateful at the place where I'm at, where I am right now. I wasn't doing that, before. So it takes practice. It takes a lot of work, but it takes more courage for you to do it. To actually bring it out to the people and say, "Hey, this is the menu I got for you. Would you eat it? Would you, would you work on it?"
Great. Exactly. It's, and even for me, it started from a little beer review page, from drinking, I don't know, basically unknown beers to now doing beers that people have even heard of, even getting invited to breweries,
There you go.
everything.
There you go,
Exactly.
man.
Even now, what's your favorite state that you've been to on tour?
Ooh, I remember not so long ago. I had two places that I called, but I always like New York. It's not just because I have family members and great friends over there, but New York is the place where I actually started coming out as an artist. I actually started exploring more of my ideas and finding myself in this music industry. So New York is definitely hands down number one at this moment. And again, because it's where the roots are. You know what I mean? But outside of New York, man, I've been to Texas. It's beautiful. Houston, Texas is beautiful. The community out there, the support out there is amazing. Another spot that we're growing on right now is also Florida, and I cannot wait to be at the 308 area and just kind of like be around with the Floridians. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right,
Hey, listen, it's all right.
but it's just places that I never been to. Also Nevada, Las Vegas. It's just little communities here and there that push me to be like, you know what, I gotta make it to that town. I gotta make it to that city and show love because I'm receiving love from out there. Now speaking country wise, definitely Uganda, Africa is on my top list. I know I have tons of fans of out there, and they always question me throughout my social medias. When are you coming this way? When are you gonna perform? Out here in Africa. When we will see you out here? And it's a question that that it takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of things details to put into place in order for that to happen. But I'll definitely want to make it out there. I know it will be a mash hit. It's just going to be super crazy out this world. But I'm letting it. I'm letting God guiding me into this, because if it wasn't for Him giving me life, giving me, the light, the ability to create, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Randy. So I'm just grateful. I'm taking His time, and whenever it's perfect and the most accurate time to do it will definitely be at all the places that we could be at once.
You got to start at a little ballroom before you make it to a huge stadium.
That's right. There you go. You see? There you go. I could have said it.
All these people out there, they didn't start at Radio City selling out Madison Square Garden. They started at the little venues where it was probably the stage was probably the size of a closet they were probably on.
Hey, let's be honest. It's true. It's true. You start from little and you get to big. Nobody that's born starts running the minute you're a baby. You can't run. You got to find, your equilibrium. You got to find your balance. You got to learn how to crawl. You got to learn how to be on your knees. Then you stand up on your feet and you start walking. And then after walk, you know how to run. So it takes time. Like, again, it takes time, but we're definitely working on that.
So it's got to go, especially, with all the people out there too that give up. You can never give up. No matter what happens, you could be at your weakest point, but you always got to climb the ladder.
Climb the ladder, and when we overcome those obstacles, I recently lost 2 family members throughout 2024. It's been a roller coaster ride, up and down, everywhere. But I'm definitely at a spot where talking to Randy was very spiritual, was very beneficial, because he helped me come out, overcome those dark moments. Yes, I'm still grieving. Yes, I am still thinking of them, but I know before they left, they knew my purpose. So I know that once I'm still creating music, and I'm still living through them, realizing my dreams, I know they're clapping for me. I know they are there with me. So I just got to keep pushing forward, and that's just kind of one of the ways that we can show, people that we working towards something greater than us. When we work on something greater than us, that's when you realize that life is more of what you make it. Life is something that you really got to live for. Something that you really got to push for. And if we are alive and if we are here at the moment, let's make the best of it, because we got time.
The truth, even with sorry about your loss, I ended up losing my uncle back in June, and that's when I thought I was at the end of it. I thought, you know what, maybe it's time, Beer Bros, I should take a few months off, take it possibly a year or two. And then my girlfriend walked up to me and said, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Think about it. He's up there laughing at you right now if you think you're going to take a break. You got to remember, even Randy said it. Do you think that he wants you to sit down and be upset and cry your eyes out over this stuff? Or you think he wants you to get back out there and do what you were born to do?
Right. Right.
That's how even Randy told me. It's like, don't sit on your couch and get upset. It's not going to do anything. You could grieve, but be an entertainer. Be what you wanted to be your entire life. Show
That's right.
people that you got to do what you got to do it.
That's right. That's right. And I always remember my uncle, and I'm sorry about your uncle's passing as well. I lost one of my uncles, and he was one of my, like you said, he would advise me the best way he could. He always was on top of all of my interviews, on top of everything that I was going and still going through as an artist. And he would just give me the best advices and say, "Hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Make sure you're showing this, you're showing that. People want to learn about you. People want to be curious, and also bring that integrity of who you are." So that's exactly what I'm working on. That's exactly my energy. That's exactly what I want people to realize, that we are all human beings just trying to create something, and I will always carry that with me, till the end of my last breath.
So you got to do it. That's exactly how you got to do it. You got to keep on fighting till your last breath. It's all about survival of the fittest now. There's a million people out there trying to start something. You got to show them that you're the one that's got to climb the ladder.
That's right.
All the people that are down there looking at us and above us saying, "Oh yeah, these people aren't going to make it," you can't stop no matter how much criticism you take. All that criticism and sadness that I have, it was to one point that it just built it, and I was like, you know what? I don't give a crap what anyone thinks. I'm not doing this for them. I'm not doing it for anyone. I'm doing this to better myself.
That's right. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me.
That's how you
Let
gotta
me
do
ask
it.
you something. Am I a little crazy, or did you change the logo a little bit? I'm really liking this purplish whitish. It feels fresh. I don't know if I'm just we haven't been in touch for so long, but it's definitely looking crisp and fresh.
Yeah, I had to end up. See, even got the merch on.
I'll come on with it. Congrats, brother. It looks fire. I'm gonna need one of those sweaters for sure. We're
Hey,
gonna have
listen, anytime you need
that.
it, don't worry. When I get my next shipment in, I'll mail one right out to you. Gotta help each other out, you know?
Right, brother. That's right. So tell me what you think about the little jingle that I
Oh, I
we
think it's amazing. The second I heard it, you could even ask my girlfriend. Hopefully she hops on a podcast one day. We
got
were in
you.
the car ride driving. I was in New York at the time. We were driving to Jersey. I had that jingle on repeat for hours. I was like, I was blasting the windows down, saying, I can't believe it. It's happening. Called up Randy. I was saying, oh, thank you so much. This made it happen. You don't believe how exciting this is. He's like, listen, even on Facebook, I wrote big things are coming. He's like, keep that motivation going. Keep it
That's
strong. You know, he's definitely one of the biggest supporters that showed me what it's like. When I
yeah.
had people telling me that, oh, just give up, give up, don't do it, stick to a normal job, stick to this, stick to that. You gotta you gotta create your own future. No one's making the future for you. It's the matter of building it. You
Agreed.
know?
Agreed.
Thank
You know,
you.
we gotta bring our ideas to life. We definitely are the ones who have the light. We are definitely the ones in charge of our future anyway. It don't matter how many years you devote to a company. It don't matter how many years you work for somebody. The minute you are not, the minute you are no longer beneficial to them, they're just gonna drop you and get the next battery. It's just like changing batteries on a controller. You need new batteries every time the batteries are drained. So just don't drain yourself working for somebody. Drain yourself working for yourself. Bring those ideas out and just keep pushing forward. That's what it's all about. And again, I understood it better when I sat down with Randy, and he helped me through my moment. Which I'm still going through, but it's a way of now I don't use it as an excuse to stop, but I might use it as an excuse to keep going.
I agree. Same thing too. With everyone's supporter out there and everyone supporting everything I do, it's just like like I said earlier, Los Evil, all these supporters I have, it's building it to the point where, you know what? I gotta show these people, the supporters, that I'm still alive. I'm still hustling. I'm sure you know that. All your fan bases. I'm sure you said it yourself. They're texting you on social media. When are you gonna come? When are you gonna come that? When are you gonna come here?
Right.
Exactly. It's the greatest feeling in the world, you know?
It
Exactly.
it is when you realize that your art, the words that come out of you, your inspiration actually touches other people's hearts, other people's minds, and you are able to mold and be part of somebody's life. Even if it's just through your voice, and you can actually uplift them and help them realize that they are greater than what anything or anybody says about it. In a negative way. We all got to find our lights and our purpose and fight for it.
Agreed. I still remember when I met Randy. He was telling me we used to sell insurance at the time. It's like, yo, I got this new artist, Mr. Loyalty. I'm like, come on, keep that motivation going. Let's bring him up. Let's have him on the podcast. He's like, yeah, let's try to get something going.
Thank you.
And now look, especially the fact that both of us came up from somewhere that, like you in the music industry, you're climbing the ranks. Me from someone that started from a little podcast on like a iPhone 4. Everything's moving up.
It,
Like the whole. What made you get into the music industry?
Man, I always been surrounded by music. I always been surrounded by music, and ever since little, and I could say ever since my mom's womb, and so life just took a turn. I always was creative with theater ever since little. Back in Honduras, Guatemala, when I was growing up, I remember having a play, and I ended up being the clown because I guess the theme was like circus or something. I remember being a clown, and in just the awe on people's face. I was like what, I had to be like between 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old at that. And I remember playing the character, just falling into character so easily. Because when you're a kid, you don't think about anything; you just
No.
do. So I remember just reconnecting with the people, and then the cheers, the claps, the noise. It was something that it mingled well with me. And I was like, no, I gotta be something. I like entertainer. I like entertaining people. I like to bring uh people joy. I like to bring people a smile. So that's why I do this music stuff, because when you become a grown up and you've been through so many things and you're battling so many things, you want something to give you like a ground level. You want something to give you like a little how do you call
Little
it?
boost in
Soothing,
life.
something that could ease up the pain. And music, and what better than music? Music, it transports us, it teleports us to different places, to different things in our life. And that's why I decided to go after music, because it was either acting or music. But I feel like with music is more of an intimate feeling. It's more of a, you get to know who is writing, you get to know who is thinking, or what are they thinking, and how can they just create an idea for you to, or a space where you could just feel at ease for a moment,
Yeah, I agree on that. It's definitely the way. Who's your biggest inspiration in the music in the artist industry?
At this moment, uh wow, it's so many, it's so many people. I feel like I'm just a mixture of culture. I know my culture, of course, I know my background, of course, but when you listen to music, you just don't have one flag. You have different flags. You have different. It's a combination of everybody that's doing music in a positive way. Um, at the moment, I could say that I'm definitely feeling a lot of energy towards an artist named Temaya. He's from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just the way, the swag, the lyrics, the beat. It's just the way he carries himself, and also his story. He battled a lot of stuff through his life, and when you are able to fight or something, and you're still maintaining a character that's so strong, it's very inspirational to me. It touches me. It works with me. So Tamaja is my definitely number one right now at the moment. And then, as I was growing up, I listened to Missy Elliott. I listened to a little bit of Ciara at the moment, Jeru. I listened to Ashanti. I listened to a lot of artists that, again, it's just all combined. And then you have the people that do music within my community, the Garifuna community. You have Jimmy Swasso, may he rest in peace. His music was very energetic, and you could hear it in his voice that he was enjoying singing every little song that he was singing. And then the messages that he left behind is something that I follow. I just grabs into a little bit of everybody, and I combine it into what loyalty is.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it ends up going.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Even with my back.
Even a little bit of Eminem, a little bit of Linkin Park. There was this group that I forgot, the girl was the leading singer. Um, I forgot the, it's coming but it's going, the name of the song. But even to a little bit of rock. I'm just a little bit of everything. To be honest with you, I'm just a little bit of everything.
Exactly, and that's what makes it good. It's not just one genre you're sticking to. It's a
Yeah.
mixture of both. It's attracting people from different music industry, attracting people that like, different genres of music. And that's
Right.
the best. You're not just experienced with one different music. You're
Right. Yeah.
mixing them all into one.
Yeah.
And that's one of my things that I like about your music that I listen to.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I do
Anytime.
appreciate it. I mean, I've been thinking of creating some type of combination between ranchero and bachata. The Vicente Fernandez, which is a great Mexican ranchero music, if I'm not mistaken, has so much love in his music, has so much tenderness when he sings the song. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like how can you combine? It's like an opera singer singing ranchero. It's like, how can you create two different worlds and just make it one? That's what I love. That's what I love about music. That it's so easy to blend it all in and then digest it.
It's exactly how it goes. That's, even with my moods, every mood has a different form of music.
There you go. There you
That's how
go.
I end up relating to. Believe it or not, before I started the podcast, I wanted to be an actor.
Come on with it.
And an actor my entire life, between watching people like, even the music industry. There was one point where I was thinking about being a singer, and then I realized, you know what? Maybe it's not the best. I don't have the voice for it. Let me stick to what I know, entertaining. I know how to entertain people, so let me stick to that.
There you go. Hey, you
Watching.
never know. I mean, I don't think being a singer is super difficult. It all depends how far you want to get into it. You know what I mean? But with practice and practice makes makes better. But with practice, we can learn everything. Nobody learns how to drive. Nobody in the world.
Great. Yeah.
But with practice, you can learn how to drive. So it's just about practicing. If you really like something and you do it from the heart, which is the first and the number one thing that you should always be able to create something from the heart. Just take your time, and who knows, maybe we could create something.
Yeah. True.
Why
Even
not?
then, I ended up with acting. I ended up watching people like The Rock. Look at him. Someone that started from his documentary, he only had $7 in his pocket. Now look at him. Now he's acting. He's back in WWE. He
Yep.
even just did a song, lyric on a song. It's people like him that I look up to with acting. And then I said, let me start somewhere small. Let me start with the podcast. And then who knows? Look at Logan Paul. Even though I think his brother's a bad boxer and thinks that, he's only fighting retired boxers to take the
Yeah.
wins. But that's who I follow too.
Here somewhere, somehow. I agree with you.
Somewhere out there, he's making a paycheck,
Yeah.
whether it's paying off Tyson.
Oh man, that fight was amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. And but yeah, when you're working out from a fight with 20 mil,
Who cares if
I
you win
mean,
or lose?
right.
Someone pays me 20 mil to fall on the ground. I'll take the hit.
I even put a pillow like,
Yeah, have my
you know,
have my coach throw a wrapped up hoodie on the ground. Make sure my head doesn't slam the pillow.
that's exactly right, man. That's exactly right.
You
Just
gotta
just
end up
find
doing it these days.
find it.
Even if it's from a little short role, which is something big. I even write movie scripts on the side. I started doing that, short stories.
See, it's something, and it goes along with the podcast. I actually, an idea or an image that's coming into me. Is this dude who's also doing a podcast? I don't wanna mispronounce his name. I guess it's Rogan. He used to be on the UFC, bald headed.
Oh, I know Rogan, Joe Rogan, the one. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. He's a man.
I see you that way. You know what I mean? Every time I hear about your podcast, that's the image that I receive. I don't know, maybe it might be in the future, in a near future, because I don't believe the future is always far away. It's just how we just channel our energy into what we channel our energy is what creates the path, and it starts unveiling before our eyes. I believe the Beer Bros is gonna be as big, if not bigger than that. But you the one who gotta take it that way.
Even
That's just what I feel every time I hear Beer Bros. Every time I see the podcast and the things that you've been doing, I'm like, this is great content. This is something that people are gonna resonate with, and it goes from there. And it goes from there.
even even at the time where there was Beer Bros actually started, believe it or not, where I was at the lowest point of my life. I was
Wow.
very upset. I was doing nothing with my life. I was very depressed. And then a few years ago, before I was even 21, I said, I want to make a YouTube page. So we started doing ghost hunting. That's where it
Okay.
started from, Ghost Adventures. I bought all these tools. I must have spent easily $1,000 on ghost hunting equipment. And then I thought in my head, I was like, what am I doing? This is not making any views. So then I ended up, you know what? No one really has that much beer channel reviews. You know, this is something that could attract college kids, adults, people that want to try
Everybody.
new beers out there that never been heard of. So my friend Zach, who can't be here, he had something to take care of at the time. He's like, let's get this started. He's like, you know. So then I ended up making the first episodes, and I just fell in love with being an entertainer. Thought it was the greatest thing in the world. You know, people coming up to me. Even my friend pranked him. He walked in a bar, and my friend ran the bar. It's like, oh my God, you're Zach from Beer Bros, aren't you? Calls me up right away. We're getting noticed, bro. I text him. He's like, you really had to mess with him? My friend thought he was getting ready to sign autographs.
But it's always good. It's always good to get that feedback, even if it's just in a joking manner or a prank. I
Yeah,
mean, it's the motivation behind it. It motivates you to keep going. We just got to push it some way, somehow.
that's exactly my motivation. Every day I wake up and I'm like, people telling me, "Oh, your podcast sucks. I don't care about the criticism. I take that criticism and form it into a ball of energy, which keeps me on my feet. Like to the point where these people say I can't make it. I'm not proving it for them. I'm proving it to me. But I'm going to show the world that this is my time to shine in the
That's right.
podcast industry, and that's why I like helping out people. If I'm helping out you, it goes both ways. This way we could bring up together and become a big group instead of individual.
Yeah. I mean, you can only do so much by yourself, and it takes a village, to overcome anything. So the more people that are like-minded, and the more people that are willing to work with one another to achieve the same goal, even if it goes from different ways, that's how you know you are creating something solid. That's how you know you're creating something with people that have the same idea behind you, the same idea as you. So we just gotta work. It's not about the noise. It's just about the work getting done.
Yeah, like I love doing this. Every day I wake up and I can't wait to film. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Everyone has that job, everyone has their normal lifestyle, their balance. This is what I look forward to every day. Getting on, having guest stars, filming, doing different type of topics. Even one day I'd like to have you on the podcast as much as I could get you on.
Please, please. It would be cool to not just do it over the phone and over through social media, but it would be definitely nice to sit down side to side and
Oh yeah,
actually
of
talk.
course.
Yeah,
Have a few beers on the table, exactly talk about that stuff.
yeah,
And
brother. Yes.
according and even what I see on social media, you're killing it in the music industry, bro. It's great. That's what I like to see. I have a lot of songs on my phone right now that I listen to when I drive.
That make me feel good. That make me feel good. I'm going places, baby. I'm going places.
How you
We're
gotta
going
do it.
places.
That's how you gotta do it. I even, next time you're in New York, let's meet up, maybe grab a drink, you know, anytime. One day I'll even, let me know when you perform it. I'll show up.
Sure,
I'll be
for
there.
sure,
That's how
man.
you gotta end up doing it.
We gotta build that bridge. It's all about building that bridge and coming
Exactly.
together.
Exactly. Even when I dropped a little, basically not a tour. It was maybe 3 bars I went to see how many people showed up. And at the same time, there was only one person that showed up, and believe it or not, it was my one of my family members. Followed me there and said, even though no one was here, don't worry, your time is to shine. That's exactly what they told me. You got to start with one fan base, work your way up. And my stepfather even told me when I was starting, he's like, you don't need the multi-million dollar equipment to get where you start. It doesn't start from the nicest camera. You could record with $100 cell phone and you still make it up. He goes,
That's right.
follow what Walt Disney said. It all started with a dream. And look at
None,
him.
none. It's something that is not even existent. It's just in your head, and we have to physically bring that dream out. And it
Exactly.
goes little by little.
You got to start somewhere. No one ever made it this far. They all pushed themselves to do it. If you continue pushing yourself, you're going to end up doing it. Never give up on a dream. You always got to follow. It's not the road that's paved ahead of you. It's the road you want to choose to follow. You
So
can either choose to go the bad route and do drugs and get mixed up in all this stuff and all those people telling you, yeah, do drugs, you'll make it, you'll make it. Yeah, you'll make it on TV getting arrested.
or dead.
You'll make it on
Overdose.
TV getting arrested, not for what you want to hear.
That's true. That
And
is
if you
true.
could, and if
Being
you
in
could tell
trouble.
the, yeah, if you could tell the younger artist is up there coming out right now, what would you say?
I'll definitely say stay away from drugs, even if they tell you it's cool and whatever. Always believe in yourself. Listen to yourself because you are the only one that knows the truth. You know your truth, and find advice from somebody that actually inspires you to be better. You know, to be greater. Um, and even in the hardest time, even in the hardest of times, believe that you're gonna push through, and your image and your idea and your goal is right there. A few steps, few long steps, few short steps. Nobody knows, and that determination comes from God. But you just have to believe that you could do it, that you can achieve it, and go against all odds. Just do it. You know.
And what song can you relate to? There's got to be one song out there that you relate to that help you through the worst times, the best times, that help you fight through everything that you were fighting your entire life.
Oh man,
Or at least one of them.
I'm like, yeah, because there's so many.
First one that comes to your head.
August Town. It's a reggae song. I forgot the Dwayne Stephan is the artist. August Town. It talks about a kid from the street. It talks about somebody trying to make it, that made a lot of wrong decisions, that fell into the rabbit hole of the drug life and the gangster life and all this, and he overcame it by by realizing that there's one true source, one true energy that never judged it, that never that never judged it until the moment that he turned his life around, and he realized that God is always with you. Just believe in it, trust it, trust the process, but more than that, have it in your heart to make the change for yourself. Have it in your heart to overcome whatever it is that you're overcoming. And definitely, August Town is always in my track list,
Yeah.
to just reconnect to everything that I'm going through, will be going through, and just to overcome everything.
There's one of the songs that's called A Million Pieces by Point North. I actually saw them a few months ago on concert. I
Come on
got
with it.
they were upcoming too. They were an indie band. So I
Okay.
figured, let me follow them through their journey. I could relate to it. I found them, one of their songs, A Million Pieces, was a really tough time going on in my life. And every time I'm having a bad time, I just play that song to the point where I even got their lyrics tattooed on my back.
Wow.
Anyone that wants to call me a fake fan, I think I just proved my point.
You take it away.
Yeah, I ended up, it's, I have tattoos, but they all have meanings to me. I won't get a
That's
tattoo
right.
without a meaning.
That's right. That's
And
right.
anytime I'm down, I just look in a mirror and see the tattoo right on my back
There you
and
go.
get back up.
Finally, funny enough that you're talking about tattoos, let me take this off real quick. I got one right here, and it's a koi fish um, swimming up, and then you have in Chinese lettering here, love, right? And that tattoo, to me, of course, I want to kind of add more stuff to it, but it's just the message behind a koi fish, they always swimming upstream, trying to get to the better area, trying to get to the better place. And once they achieve going to the top, this there's a gate where they transform themselves into a dragon. It kind of proves the point of fighting hard and getting to your level. At this point, I'm definitely feel that I'm still swimming upstream. I'm still pushing and giving it my all, despite of how big the current might be going down. I know I'm gonna make it to the top, and I'm gonna turn myself into a dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the strength. that I know that's inside of me. And then you have great people, great community, great support around you that's cheering for you to make it. So I want to make it. I know I'm gonna make it, and become the best, greater part of myself, which is exactly what all of that is gonna resemble once it's there.
Even this one. Got an eagle on my wrist.
Come
Remind
on.
me to always soar high like an eagle. Always go up instead of going below.
Well, there you go.
And then one day I was messing with my tattoo and I was like, I can make it fly. You know?
Mascus.
Yeah, you can make it swim.
Oh,
All right,
that's what
guys. I'm gonna end it here, Mr. Loyalty. It's good to have Mr. Loyalty on the podcast. We'll definitely have you guys. We'll definitely have you back soon. And as
yeah,
always, Anthony Michael signing out.
Mr. Loyalty. Peace and love to everybody. Appreciate the beer bros. Once again, Anthony, thank you so much for this time
Anytime.
connecting with your audience, and I'm super excited. Many blessings to you, to the show. Keep it going forward, brother. You already know.
All right, I'll see you on the. We'll have him back on another podcast. Don't worry, we'll get you on the next one. All right, I'm signing off. Have a good one, guys.